welcome to our home. Come on in. Space that you are greeted to. It's just sort of a main kind of foyer area. It's quite dark because there's obviously no windows with it being an apartment, and over here the door's open to the living area, kitchen, and then that door's open there to our bedroom, but usually they're closed, so it's sort of pitch black, but I've opened them just for some natural light. So this is the door that you've just come in from. Come in here. This cupboard here is just a cupboard under the stairs, even though we have no stairs, but it's just sort of the storage cupboard for ironing board, washing basket, bag of bags, that kind of thing. This door here is leading into what we like to call the family bathroom, because my sister also lives with us, and this is the main bathroom that she will use a lot of the time. One, because both Christian and I are going away on performing jobs on cruise ships, so it will be hers, but also Christian and I have our own ensuite that we will use as well. Over here that you can't see is mine and Christian's bedroom into our ensuite. The door that you are just behind here is Isabel's bedroom, and then over to here you have the living room, which I'll take you in just a moment. One of the things that I absolutely love the most about this apartment is the colour of the doors, and people who've been already have said how gorgeous they are. I think the darkness of the oak, the wood that it is, really makes it look more expensive, makes it give more of like a classy look, whereas I feel like if it was a light brown, it would not give off that effect. So having these dark wood doors, I absolutely love, and think it instantly makes it look that little bit more plush, let's say. But if the walls look quite blank at the moment, we've only been in for a week and a bit by the time you're seeing this. I'm leaving in a couple of weeks to work and go on a cruise ship, and Christian's going a month or so after me. So we're sort of keeping everything a little bit bare until we come back. But what we are planning on this wall here is to have a sort of a biggish mirror. I've seen ones that have almost like things coming out of the side just to make it look a little bit more arty, and then underneath here there will be a small shelf where we can put a diffuser on and some candles, just to give it a little bit of something, so when you're coming in it's not all just brown and white. Even though there's nothing wrong with that, it just gives it a little bit of something. So yeah, this is the entranceway, and now I will take you into everyone's favourite room, the living, kitchen, dining room. One of the first things that me and Christian said when we came in here was, wow, it's so big, and I don't actually think we could have got a better size for what it is. Of course it's only an apartment, so you're not going to have a massive room, but you come in and it sort of pans around, from the left being the kitchen with all your bits and bobs there. You've got your nice big oven and fridge, and then into the sort of TV area with the console table, Christian's 55-inch TV that he's absolutely in love with. And then you go into the dining area of the room with your table and chairs, and then you go into the living area with the swivel chair and the big sofa. So we've really been so lucky with the size that we've got, and we've really been able to play around with it and get it so it doesn't look too cluttered. I especially always said I wanted to keep this middle area completely clear, because we originally had the sofa sort of on an angle here, and it just made the room look so much smaller, whereas now with the way that we've got it, with everything being around the sides, it really just makes the room look nice and big and just sort of minimal, if that's the right word. I don't think that's quite the right word, but it just looks perfect, I think. So let's do a proper little tour. So over here, this is the kitchen area, and when I was looking at the photos, I was, oh, that's beautiful, but in my mind I thought it's never really going to look as stunning as what it does in the pictures, but it does. It absolutely does. So over here on the left, we're lucky that we have a washer dryer here, because there's 3 of us living, so I think it'll just be nice just to have that feature there. through just to the sink. You've got a dishwasher in here, and then of course all of your cupboards. And the colour of the cupboards, I think it was taupe, I believe it was, so like a really light grey mushroom. The kitchen tops are duo gloss cashmere, that's hard to say. So they're again a really nice neutral, which me and Christian wanted for the whole place. We wanted it to look kind of neutral. As you'll see as we go around, we love whites and greys, and then with a little bit of rose gold and silver in there just to give it a little bit of colour, a bit of dynamic to the room, let's say. Here we have our little tea area, which I love. Everyone needs a tea area. So the toaster and the kettle that we have are both from Currys. They are on Morphy Richards, and they are sort of a lovely white matte colour with black and rose gold detailing. Our tea, coffee, sugar pots are from the range, which is absolutely brilliant. If you've never been to the range, it does absolutely everything, and everything's brilliant. So we have that there, and that's our little corner set up already with our mugs. I actually need to get Isabel an eye mug and coaster to match. And then over here you come into the hob area. These are some beautiful flowers that my friend Leanne bought me. They are absolutely stunning. And I think I have 4 flowers around in bouquets dotted around the house, so you'll see all of those. And then come over here, and then we've got again into our toaster with the white matte rose gold and black details. Another 2 jars from the range, which we use for our pasta and our oats. We'll probably have to go get a few more when we are back officially next year, when we are living here for a while, for other little bits and bobs. And then this we move over to our coffee machine that we haven't quite got to grips with how to work it yet. But we will, but I think again it just looks really lovely. And I was reading up when I was looking, sort of researching about the colour scheme that I wanted, and sort of was worried about having rose gold, gold, copper, silver in case it didn't complement each other. But a lot of the sites that I went on all said to not be afraid to play around with metals and things like that. So I think the silver and the rose gold and everything just goes really well with this kitchen. Oh, and just quickly, this photo over here, I saw this in Next a few weeks ago, but we decided, because we bought this apartment off plan, so we didn't know how much room we were going to have, so we said we'll wait until we get here. And literally the first time we went into Next after moving in, we saw the picture and we just thought that we had to have it in. So if you don't know, Christian and I, we got engaged in Paris in the restaurant within the Eiffel Tower, so we always said we have to have something like that within the flat, just because it's just a nice little, or a very special time in our lives that we'll always be able to remember. So we've got that beautiful piece of artwork up there. Another thing that I love is how they've gone with 2 different colours in the kitchen, because they could have just stuck to the taupe colour that they have on all the cupboards throughout, but the fact that they've gone for this sort of deep, rich grey for the oven and these 2 cupboards here and the fridge, I think that really does give it a little bit of something and helps warm the room. Again, another thing I was worried about, because the walls are so white, the colours are so neutral, I was worried about it not looking homely or cosy, but I think because these rich tones are in with it, along with our sofa, which is quite a dark grey, it really gives it that little bit of warmth that it needs. And then over this way, just keep going around in the room, you've got sort of like the TV entertainment area. This printer won't be here all the time, but at the moment me and Christian have quite a lot of work that we're having to do before we leave on our contract. So that's out there, so we don't have to keep fiddling, taking it in and out, but eventually it will be in that drawer there. And this step is because, if you didn't notice, the cupboards are pretty high and I'm only 5 foot tall, so I can't reach them. I've put everything that I would need every day sort of down, but other stuff is higher and I can't reach it, so we had to get this from IKEA, another flat pack. We've done far too many flat packs for me to use, but eventually I think, well, it might stay there, but I want to make it a little bit of something. Otherwise I think it just looks a little bit random just tucked away there, but anyway. And then over here we have Christian's favourite part of the room, the TV. This is a nice big 55-inch but thin TV that actually, now that we have all this space and this empty wall here, doesn't look as big as what I thought it was going to be, but it's a perfect size, and I'm glad that we have the sofa sort of all the way over there. Otherwise, I mean, it's not very good for your eyes to be sat so close to a TV, but I think this size is absolutely perfect. And again, this is another IKEA flat pack, along with the stool there, and also the dining table that you'll see in a minute. So yeah, so this is where we plan on just keeping things like chargers, laptops, everything will go just go tucked away under there, so we haven't got anything else that's just looking a little bit messy, let's say. And moving over this way, we come into the dining area. There isn't really being used a whole lot at the moment. One, because we've only been in for 1 week, and we have had friends over, so we've been going out for meals. And then obviously we're using it at the minute with all of our cards, even though I'm sure that they'll go down in a few days. I just like having cards out. I think it just, I mean, everyone spends time on buying these cards, so when people just have them out for a day and put them away, I like to have them in. So they've been on a week, so give it a few days, and then I will take them down, and then it will officially be the dining table. Again, this is from IKEA, another flat pack, and these chairs, which we really struggle to find chairs. One, because they're so expensive for what they are, and we sort of had a vision in mind of what we wanted, and it's taken us weeks and weeks and weeks to finally find it. But these from Dwell are just perfect. They're a white sort of cushioned kind of chair, so they're really comfortable, not too sturdy, it's not going to be uncomfortable. And then we come with these lovely, just plain silver legs, so it again gives it off a really nice, simple and minimalistic but kind of classy vibe all at the same time. It just adds a little bit of something to this wall. And then the clock that we have up here, which so many people compliment us on when they come in. I think it's just because it's just a nice, again, it's so white, but with the rose gold and the marble, it just gives it a really nice effect. So we're going to keep that up there underneath the dining table, but then when friends come around, we will probably switch it around here, so there's 2 chairs either side. The only reason it's here like this is because if it was another way around, anyone who's sat in the swivel chair over there won't really be able to see the TV. But whilst there's only 2 or 3 of us at the moment, it's just nice to have. And then at the moment, obviously, we've got some more cards and the fruit basket, which is from Next Home. That's so lovely. We're going away tomorrow to Paris, so the banana is a little bit gross, so try not to look too closely there. But yeah, so this is the dining area. Just finished these flowers are what my mum got us for moving in, and I'm trying to keep them as long as possible, but there's only 2 flowers that are looking healthy, so they're going to have to go very soon. Then we come over to what is the living area that I absolutely love. It's so cozy, it's such a small space just for what it is, but I think it's absolutely beautiful. So again, here you've got your, these are 2 coffee tables. Not what we originally wanted, but what we originally wanted we've realised doesn't really go at the moment, but I'll explain more about that when we get round to the sofa area. But again, these IKEA flat pack, we are never ever buying anything that is flat packed ever again, because they're just an absolute nightmare. But I thought these nested tables go really well, because this small one we usually move when we're sat watching TV to have a cup of tea on or whatever, and this one just stays here with this lovely little detail on the top. This is a Next Home again. It's a mirrored tray that I've just put on with these 4 peonies that my nana bought me, because I always said that I wanted to have 4 peonies, because 1, they're my favourite flower, and 2, you know, they're always going to stay nice. Just put the hairdryer on them when they get a little bit dusty. A little Yankee candle, so I just think this gives it just a nice little bit of colour to this corner. And then what I'm sat on is our swivel chair with the footstool, and I've just put a little throw on it here. Not that we really need it because it's absolutely boiling, but just because it just looks pretty, really. And then you come over to the grand settee. This, we actually got a really wonderful deal with this when we went to DFS. We were always said we wanted sort of a light grey sofa, and then we saw this one and we instantly thought, yeah, that's perfect. And then when we went to speak to one of the sales assistants about it, they said, oh, that's actually someone's already bought that and they've returned it, not because it's faulty or anything, just because they don't want it anymore. So I think this sofa should have been about £1,000 by itself. We got the sofa and the swivel chair with the footstool for less than £1,000. So we got an absolutely brilliant deal with that. It's super comfortable. We ended up going for a 3-piece chaise with it on the left hand side, which has worked out really well now, because that almost gives it a cut off to the kitchen, so it kind of separates it a little bit. And again, yeah, these cushions, they came with, I sort of don't really mind them, but I know that eventually when I come back after this contract, I'll probably be getting some different ones, maybe. We'll see. But these smaller pillows that we've got are just from Matalan Home, which was really delivering all the goods this time. So this is just a little bit, it's got like blush pink, teal, navy, a bit of gold in there. So I think those 2 cushions there just give it a little bit of a lift, so it's not just all greys and whites. But it's a very comfortable sofa, and yeah, we've fallen asleep one too many times on here already. But yeah, that was a really brilliant buy. And then coming over just behind the sofa, we have this, again, rose gold. It's mainly me that loves the rose gold, but Christian secretly absolutely loves it. But this, we always said we wanted a lamp that sort of came over, just because I think that looks really nice. It's just such a modern look that I think really makes a room that little bit more, I don't know what the word is, I just think it always gives it a nice finish. So this is a nice rose gold floor lamp that comes over, and then you can move this a little bit up and down depending on what you want to use it for, and so that comes over where Christian uses it, so that's a very nice little piece there. And then in this cupboard here, because we don't really have all that much storage, this is where we just sort of keep, this was a little basket that we got from Dunelm that we're just going to keep all of our towels in. So it's not really like it's not a warm room or anything, but it just keeps them tucked away, keeps them nice and tidy, because there's not really much else to fit anything in there. But eventually I would like to put a shelf or 2 so we can separate them and have them out all nice. And then of course my yoga mat stays in this corner because I do that every morning and it's a necessity. And just to finish off this part of the living room, the walls, like I said at the beginning, they are still looking bare, but we're not wanting to rush with anything like that, because there is a wedding that's going to be happening, my wedding if you didn't know, next October. So we don't want to spend our money in buying these lovely artwork and pictures when the chances are we're going to want our wedding photos up on the wall. But what the plan is so far is here, this will probably be just one nice big mirror, again just to help open up the space and make it look really bright, possibly with a picture or 2 either side. And then the wall above the TV will be a floating shelf, and we're going to look probably on Desenio, because there's some beautiful prints on there, for medium, large and small pictures, just to give the wall a little bit of dynamic. And I think those floating walls look so nice with all the pictures in different sizes. So that is the plan, and we're wanting to keep the wall here next to the window free, and the wall just next to the kitchen free. Well, we've got this lovely frame here that my mum got us for our moving in gift, and I love these more than sort of materialistic gifts. It's really quite personal. It says live for the moments you can't put into words, with all pictures of me and Christian from the last few years. So that's a really lovely touch that we have on the walls there. So some wedding photos I think will really give it that personal touch that it needs. We just have to discuss the rug. This was an absolute steal from a place in Wales called Drago Mills, something like this. I can't remember what the actual name was, but it's just this humongous sort of factory type thing, just full of all sorts of things like this, and this was a gorgeous little find. I said that I wanted a plain white rug, but really a plain white one wouldn't be very good or very clever of me. So we found this one, which is still quite white and bright, but it's got speckles of grey in, and a little bit of sparkle as well, which is quite nice. So I think this, again, it's bright enough without being too white, but also that if anything does get spilled on it, you won't see exactly what's happened there. But no, I was really pleased. We probably could have gone for a little bit of a bigger sized rug, but we had no idea the size, but it actually worked really well for now, and we're both very, very pleased with it, and it's so soft. Oh, it's so lovely. So we're very lucky that we have 2 balconies. We have this lovely double one here that is just a lovely little size, and then we also have a single one on our outside leading out of our bedroom, which is very nice. It's a very small one though, but we're very lucky that we have the 2. So you come straight out here, and then you've just got this balcony that's all made out of glass, and then this lovely brick here. We've got this sort of burnt orange and then into the grey detailing that I think has got a really nice effect. And then you come over here and you've got our little bistro table. This was actually from Morrison's, and we've done really well with the colour of this, because again we bought this off plan, so we didn't really know what the colours of everything was going to look like, but with the black and the sort of nudie and the orange and the grey, it actually goes perfectly with the balcony, so I was very pleased about that. I said as soon as we found out we had a balcony, I said we need to get a bistro table, we have to get a bistro table. And the view isn't the best, it's not the worst, but when they've done what they've done all down here, they're going to have some water features in and a nice walkway and some greenery. It's going to have a really nice little look, and we are very lucky that the gym and the co-op is just there, so that will make our life very easy when we are eventually living here for a long time.
Shutterstock Music.
So leading out into the kitchen, living, dining area, we're going to go into this room, which is what we call the family bathroom. So like I said, this is mainly going to be Isabel's bathroom, but it's obviously anyone can use it. You have 2 kinds of lighting. You have your normal lighting, the most unflattering lighting you could ever have, or then you have this sort of underground lighting here that is just underneath the bath, so it's almost like a little bit of mood lighting, just so when you're having a bath and wanting to relax, you can do, because you've not got this massive bright light coming in while you're having your bath. But we come in here, you've got the bath to your left hand side, and it does have a shower, but this shower is a little handheld one that comes off the wall, so you can't really stand whilst you're doing it, but we are at some point thinking of changing, so getting the shower put up properly and then a glass door, but that will all come in time. She has her little Miss Hinch inspired caddy box here that my sister-in-law to be, Christian's sister, does with her small business Gifts by Lauren. I'll link it down below because she does lovely little things, and I've actually got one of these myself. I actually have 3. Isabel has this one here, Isabel's cleaning products, and then we have 2 in the kitchen which are cloths and cleaning products, and then me and Christian have one in our bathroom that we use for our shower just to keep it nice and clean. So she has that there, then we've got just obviously bog standard toilet, and then over here you have the sink and the big mirror. The mirror which actually has a light on itself, which is quite nice, with the tap. So to press this on, it's not like a usual tap. You literally press the button on, you can put your temperature up, temperature down, the strength of the water, you can maximise it or you can minimise it to help save water, which I think is very, very good. Turn that off. And then just out of the bathroom we come into the main sort of foyer a little bit, if you like, and this here is Isabel's room. She's not in at the moment, so I'm not going to give you a tour in there just because I wouldn't want to if she didn't want me to, but hers is just, again, it's a lovely, really nice sized room, big windows, all the same colours as what you're going to see throughout the house. You're not really missing too much, but her room is absolutely beautiful. I'm just not going to show you it out of respect. And then through this way, you have mine and Christian's bedroom.
Shutterstock Music.
So again, Again, with our bedroom, we wanted to keep it quite simple, as we have done really the whole house, even though it doesn't look simple. The colours that we've gone for, we basically said we didn't want any clutter apart from what I'm going to show you. Some people might think is clutter, but at the minute, with us not having shelves or anything up as such, this is sort of the least clutter we could do. I said from the word go I wanted white bedding. I take pride in white bedding and it staying nice and white. And this is actually from an online store called dusk.com, who do luxury for less bedding. So it's all Egyptian cotton, so lovely to sleep in, so nice and soft, and it basically doesn't cost you hundreds of pounds to buy it. So that's where we got all of our bedding from. The bed itself was Christian's. He's had that for quite a while, and again, with us going away, we didn't feel the need to buy a new bed because we're not going to be sleeping in it for all that long. But now that this bed's actually in, I actually think it really fits very nicely, and I don't really want to change it. And it's also good because there's a room. I'm not going to show you because there's lots of stuff, but there's a lot of room underneath for storage, which is great. Then over here we get to the bit that what I thought people may say is clutter, even though I don't think it really is. And so we've only really kept out everything that we do need a lot. Again, this desk set of drawers was Christian's from his house, and the drawer handles go really well with the bed as well. So even though this is cream and the walls are white, it all just sort of really match in. So this is a lovely little lamp again from Dunelm. I love Dunelm Mill. A few of Christian's aftershaves are kept out just because they're quite nice ones. I have a little tray here that I like to keep my jewellery in. My engagement ring stays in this box. And then we have this lovely vanilla and tonka bean candle from Sainsbury Home, because you have to have a candle in your bedroom. This was a lovely little gift that Christian's sister got us again from her lovely little business that she has. I don't think it's not 70 weeks until we get married, but it's something weeks until we become Mr. and Mrs. Morse. Another lovely engaged photo frame his sister got us when we got engaged in Paris. I've just hung a few of my necklaces on there because I haven't really got anything at the moment. And then we go over just to my makeup, which is surprisingly basically all of my makeup. I don't have a lot. And then the drawers are just full of all of our clothes. So I think we've done really well with the space that we've got, 'cause it's not a humongous room, but it's a very nice size room. I think we've done really well with what we've managed to get and put in. But what we will obviously be doing, there might be a shelf here, pictures, probably wedding photos up there when we eventually get married. So yeah, the walls won't be as pale and as bland as what they look right now. And this chair here, this was my lovely grandma's armchair that she had in her bedroom. She passed away a few years ago, and I've always said my love for this chair, and my mum sort of gave it to me when we were sorting out everything. So this is going to stay with me throughout probably the rest of my life, and will always be a piece that I will forever treasure. But again, this chair and the colours, it just goes perfectly with the room, with everything that we've got going in. So it was a match made in heaven, I think. Here you've got our lovely double wardrobe that I've actually recently organised, even though Christian would like to take the credit for it. He didn't, I did. So I've just organised them so they're quite nice and tidy-ish. So Christian's side here, we've got a rail in the middle. I think Christian is wanting to get a chest of drawers in there, just so we can fold his things that are up on the top shelf, so keep them nice and organised. And then over here is my side. And before I came, I actually got rid of a lot of clothes. So this is literally everything that I own, apart from a few things in the wardrobe. So I've sort of kept it as like jackets, jumpers, trousers, fancy dresses on the top, and the bottom is just short skirts, day t-shirts, and then day little jumpers, and then of course shoes all on the bottom. So it's actually a perfect size wardrobe, and it'll just teach me to not buy clothes that I don't need, because I'm trying to help the world when it comes to fast fashion and sustainability. So having a smaller wardrobe will help me even more in doing that. Oh my goodness, the sun is now coming out, thank goodness. But yeah, so this is our balcony. It's literally, I can touch it from hand to hand here, and it's not really too deep, but it's absolutely, well, it's just a perfect little size. And we are planning here on getting one of those swinging egg chair type things. So that'll go there for us to come out and have a sit with our coffee in the morning. And again, we've got the view of the co-op and the gym, which isn't amazing, but it could be worse. It could be a lot worse. So this is the overview of our bedroom. We've got balcony door there, chair, chest of drawers into the bed, and we've got the lovely double wardrobe over here. And then this way, if you just go around the bed, and in here, we have our ensuite. Have an ensuite, it must feel like so posh to have. And now I've got one, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's not too big. Again, like any ensuite, I think you're very, very fortunate if you have a massive ensuite bathroom. But it's the same sort of detailing as Isabel. We have exactly the same mirror, the same storage, the same colouring of the cupboards. The only difference is that we have this walk-in shower that Isabel doesn't have. But she'll be using ours, I'm sure. And it actually has 3 different types of shower. It has a waterfall shower here. It has a little handheld, the same as Isabel has in her shower, and it also has these 2 things here, the sort of spray water out. I'm not really sure what they're there for, but I'm sure that they'll be nice to use for a little bit of a back massage here and there. And then this way, where the mirror is, this is obviously the sink. And then we've just got a few little bits and bobs just to make it quite nice and organised. So this is a Fresh Blossom diffuser that we got from Dunelm. It's an empty base candle that I like to use for my cotton buds. I just got an empty, literally a little vase from Wilko's that I use for my cotton pads because I use them a lot. I keep my Foreo out because I use that so many times throughout the week, and also it's super pretty. And then this basket again is from Dunelm, is where we keep, well, I keep all my face cloths and my muslin cloths, and this is where our hand towels are kept as well. So it keeps the sides clutter free, but it also just gives it a little bit of something. And then I of course have my own little Mrs. Hinch inspired bathroom caddy, just full of shower things, room spray, there's a floor in there, a shower cleaner, just so everything sort of stays nice and organised. And then you don't mind it being out then because it looks nice. So I always keep that just on the bottom of the shower, so it's there for me to use as and when we need it. So that brings us to the end of my little apartment tour. I'm so glad that I've been able to film one of these, because I constantly on YouTube, I constantly binge watch empty apartment tours, which hopefully you should have seen by the time this goes live, and then also apartment tours and house tours and how people organise the wardrobes and the pantries and things. I absolutely love watching all of those. So the fact that I now have my own place and I can do all of these videos, it fills me with so much joy. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed watching this video. I will link everything I possibly can down. If you've liked anything that we've sort of got and that you want for yourself, I will try and find every single link that I can. Please make sure to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos like this. There is going to be lots to come. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.